Hello and welcome to the February 2019 layout update for the Trent Valley Railway. In this update we'll have a look at these trains running around the layout. We'll have a look at the track plans which I've been setting out over the past couple of months. Top level baseboard has been taken off so you can see all the framework, but then underneath it was easier to access and set out the points, set out the number of lanes that I might have for the fiddle yard. And I'll finish the update with these trains continuing to go round the layout. So since the last update in January, I've been spending the time testing the trains around the inclines, getting the rest of the stock out, which I have for the layout, testing them up and down in both directions, making sure that the track's all level, everything's working, and thankfully everything is absolutely as I planned it would be. So that's great news, and I can carry on forwards now in the next few months to put down the cork underlay, put down the track, and start to sort of move things on with the layout. Before we get into seeing some of the trains running around the layout, you'll have noticed that probably last weekend I visited the Stafford Model Railway Show. There's videos on my channel from those layouts and exhibition that happened at Stafford. Future videos will be coming up towards the end of this month, hopefully visiting Milton Keynes Model Railway exhibition and also then Model Rail Scotland, so keep a lookout for those. But in the meantime, hope you enjoy some of the shots from around the layout of these trains in action. Over the past few months, I've been taking the time to plan out the track, particularly on the lower level of the layout, making sure that I've got the clearance required to keep the pantograph up, particularly on the fiddle yard, where the clearance to the inclines is quite close. And we're looking here towards the sort of top left-hand corner of the garage, but on the fiddle yard side. As the trains are coming around the corner, and I've been setting out the point work and the curves. Particularly the curves are trying to sort of achieve a third or fourth radius to make sure that the trains and the rolling stock that I'm running don't derail, and it's quite nice and smooth for them to go around the corners. And over this side we've got the top level baseboard has been taken off, so you can see all the framework, but then underneath it was easier to access and set out the points, set out the number of lanes that I might have for the fiddle yard, and generally sort of see how much space there is to fit as many sort of fiddle yard lanes in as possible. So as it comes across this side, the garage, the lanes sort of fan out, and I've got to a position where I can just about get in around about 10 to 12 lanes across there, and it stretches across underneath the incline as well. And that's just sort of an overview of the sort of storage that I'll have. The storage here in length on this side is around about 300 centimetres, and this is then marked up by those metal discs, washers that I've got there on the tracks, and that sort of gives me around about 6 or 7 sort of lines there, which will accommodate 300 centimetres, which is basically the length of a Pendolino 9 car. And again, we've got here the curves coming round, but avoiding the sort of incline towards the back there. Talking about the inclines, on each of the inclines up and down there will be 2 tracks, so there'll be an up and a down, so this gives me a full circuit to run round, so there'll be 2 separate running lines. Gives a lot of length of track to put down around the layout, and particularly as it comes down on the opposite side to the fiddle yard here, this is an opportunity to have a sort of scenic section on the right hand side of the garage here. With the 2 inclines at the back, I've got room for around about 4 or 5 storage sidings, which I could turn into a sort of scenic section, as well as a TMD potentially in the sort of corner space I have at the end. And then we'll have the inclines that would be sort of running behind that TMD and sort of sidings, and particularly this is probably going to be sort of network rail based with my measurement train and the sort of ballast trains that I'll have, as well as sort of network rail locos. This is accessed with a sort of grade separation here, so the incline will pass over a sort of single line entrance, which will then go around towards the other fiddle yard. Here towards the sort of removable section. So I've got several points which are on here as well, which will be connected up to the main layout. But these give access and help with getting as many sort of fiddle yard lanes as possible on both sides of the layout. So these will go down in the future as well, but would be specifically for just sort of fitting onto this removable section board. There's a lot to do here, which I hope to do over the next couple of months.